Look up at the sky. What do you see? Blue. Obvious, immediate. But here's something. That should stop you cold. For most of human history, that color didn't even have a name. Not the ancient Greeks, not the earliest writers of India or China. The sky had no name. And according to a growing body of research, if you have no word for something, your brain may not fully recognize it as distinct. Go back to ancient Greece. Homer, one of the most celebrated writers in all of human history, described the sea as wine dark. He called honey green. He described the sky dozens of times across the Iliad and the Odyssey, yet never once used a word for blue. In 1858, British politician William Gladstone decided to count every color word in Homer's writing. What he found was astonishing. Black appeared nearly 200 times, white nearly 100, and blue appeared exactly 0 times. Gladstone concluded that the ancient Greeks must have been partially colorblind. The academic world laughed at him, but the question refused to die. German philosopher Lazarus Geiger took the research even further. He examined ancient sacred texts from across the world, the Vedas, Icelandic sagas, the Hebrew Bible, ancient Chinese poetry. His finding was the same every single time. No blue across thousands of years of human writing, across dozens of unconnected civilizations. Blue is almost entirely absent. Every culture described black, white, and red first. Blue always came last. So why blue? Why did it come last? Because blue is genuinely rare in nature. The sky is blue. Yes, the ocean appears blue, but neither is something you can hold, eat, or fight. At ground level, the world your ancestors actually lived in, blue, almost disappears. No blue foods, almost no blue plants, almost no blue animals. Red mattered because red was blood, fire, the berries. That could kill you. Blue was just the sky, distant, untouchable, unimportant. And here's where it gets truly unsettling. Researcher Jules Davidoff ran a series of experiments with the Himba people of Namibia, one of the few groups whose language still has no distinct word for blue. He showed participants a circle of 12 colored squares. 11 were green. 1 was blue. To most people, the blue square jumps out immediately, but the Himba participants struggled to find it. They hesitated. They made mistakes. The light entered their eyes exactly as it enters yours, but without a linguistic category to sort it into. Their brains did not recognize it as something distinct. Then Davidoff flipped the test. He showed another circle of green squares. This time, one square was a slightly different shade of green, a difference most English speakers would completely miss. The Himba participants spotted it almost instantly because their language has multiple words for different shades of green. Their vocabulary had sharpened perception in one direction and blunted it in another. This echoes an idea linguist Benjamin Lee Horff had argued back in the 1930s. Language doesn't just describe reality, it helps shape the reality. Your brain constructs from what your eyes collect. The world reaches your brain as raw sensory input. Your brain uses the categories embedded in your language to sort, organize, and render that signal into something you experience as reality. The first civilization to develop a true word for blue was ancient Egypt. The reason is almost too fitting. The Egyptians were the first culture to produce blue artificially, grinding lapis lazuli and copper into the world's first synthetic blue pigment. They made blue, so they needed to name it. Once it had a name, it became a category. And once it became a category, it could be seen everywhere. Every perception you have, every color you see, every distinction you make between this and that is not a raw experience of reality. It is a constructed experience built from light, from the architecture of your brain, and from the words you inherited from the culture you were born into. You didn't choose those words. You inherited them. And right now, they are deciding what you can and cannot see. Look up at the sky. Again, still blue, still obvious. But now, you know something. The ancient Greeks didn't. You are not just seeing the sky. You are seeing a category that someone, somewhere, had to invent before your brain knew how to recognize it.